Welcome everybody, welcome to Christmas Eve. We've got definitely an intimate crowd this evening. It is good to be together. Welcome, my name is Joan Montagnes, and I have the honor and privilege of serving this congregation, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Buffalo, as minister. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Our call to worship this evening is entitled For Joy by Jan Richardson. You can prepare, but still it will come to you by surprise. Crossing through your doorway, calling your name in greeting, turning like a child who quickens suddenly within you. It will astonish you how wide your heart will open in welcome. How wide your heart will open in welcome for the joy that finds you so ready and still so unprepared. This evening, we light our chalice, wondering at a child's birth, pondering a mother's hopes, welcoming those who have come a long way to be in this moment, marveling at starlight which has traveled a long time to be here this night, delighting in a tree that holds its green in winter, praising the incarnation of the divine in each heart, and awestruck by the extraordinary in the commonplace. We kindle this flame, this precious vision, this holy night. Let's join in singing, Joy to the World.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrus was governor of Syria. All went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards men. And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, Let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which has come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. And they came with haste, and found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the saying which was told to them concerning this child. And all they that heard it wondered at those things which were told to them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen, as it was told upon them.
Let's join in singing, O Little Town of Bethlehem. This Christmas Eve, we remember a man and a woman who were forced to leave by a tyrannical government. The Christmas story is a story of a refugee family. There was nothing convenient about Joseph and Mary's departure. They had an arduous journey, and there was no time to make arrangements for their arrival. Perhaps the Christmas miracle is not so much the birth of a holy baby, for all births are indeed holy births. Perhaps the Christmas miracle was that Joseph and Mary arrived safely in Bethlehem, and even though there was no formal lodging available, they found hospitality in a strange land. This Christmas Eve, our entire offering will be donated to Journeys and Refugee Services. Your gifts will help Journeys and provide refugees with the resources and support they need to be successful in contributing and active members of the community of Western New York. Our offering is part of the continuing Christmas miracle, that sojourners can find hospitality in a strange land. Our offering is a clear statement of our connection to each and all. It is a gesture of radical love. If yours is a gift to Journeys and Refugee Services, please write Christmas Eve on the memo line. If yours is a welcome donation to our congregation, please write UUCB on the memo line. Either way, please write UUCB on the important line, and we will do the bookkeeping, and we thank you for your generosity. All cash donations will go directly to Journeys End.
Come Christmas by Maureen Killoran. No one is ever really ready for Christmas. If we were really all prepared, if every gift we had contemplated had been obtained, if every present was beautifully beribboned, if all the goodies our friends deserve were baked and cooled and stored just so, if each and every person we love was gathered for our celebration, if we never snapped at someone we care about, nor stopped short of being all that we could be, if our minds were 100% loving and our hearts were 100% generous, they truly would be ready. And truly, we would not need Christmas quite so much. So come, Christmas, most needed of seasons. Come with the reminder that love does not depend on perfection, but on willingness to risk connection. Come into the unready manger of our hearts that we may feel the warmth of new life and give flesh to the promise of hope that cries to bring healing into our world. Come, Christmas, come, love, come, hope, be born into our unready hearts on this silent and holy night.
Let's join in singing the 12 Days of Christmas. Let's turn me down just a tad. Okay, sorry everybody. That woke you up. Where I come from, this is a standard. King John was not a good man. He had his little ways, and sometimes no one spoke to him for days and days and days. Men who walked across when walking in the town gave him a supercilious stare, or passed with noses in the air, and bad King John stood dumbly there, blushing beneath his crown. King John was not a good man, and no good friends had he. He stayed in every afternoon, but no one came to tea. And round about December, the cards upon the shelf that wished him lots of Christmas cheer and good wishes for the coming year were never from his near and dear, but only from himself. King John was not a good man. He had his hopes and fears. They'd given him no presents now for years and years and years. But every year at Christmas, this is my problem, but every year, you can tell me when I do that, but every year at Christmas, when minstrels stood about collecting tribute from the young for all the songs they may have sung, King John slipped upstairs and hung a hopeful stocking out. King John was not a good man. He kept himself aloof. Alone he thought a message out while climbing up the roof. He wrote it down and propped it against the chimney stack. To all and sundry, near and far, F. Christmas in particular. And signed it not Johannes R., but very humbly, Jack. King John, I want some crackers, and I want some candy. I know a box of chocolates would come in handy. I do like oranges, and I do want nuts, and I want a pocket knife that really cuts. But, oh, Father Christmas, if you love me at all, bring me a big red India rubber ball. King John was not a good man. He left his message out and gat him to his room again. Descending by the spout, he lay all night there, a prey to hopes and fears. I think I'm missing a line here somewhere. Prey to hopes and fears. I think that's right. He's laying all there night, a prey to hopes and fears. I think that's him a-coming now. He'll bring one present anyhow, the first I've had in years. Forget about the crackers. Forget about the candy. Forget about the nuts, the oranges, and the pocket knife, because I have one that almost cuts. But oh, Father Christmas, if you love me at all, bring me a big red India rubber ball. King John was not a good man. Next morning, when the sun rose to tell a waking world that Christmas had begun, and people seized their stockings and opened them with glee, and crackers, games, and toys appeared, and lips with sticky sweets were smeared, King John said grimly, "As I feared, nothing again for me. I did want crackers, and I did want candy, and I know a box of chocolates would have come in handy. I do love oranges, and I do like nuts, and I don't have a pocket knife, not one that really cuts.
And oh, Father Christmas, if you'd loved me at all, you would have brought a big red India rubber ball.
King John stood by the window and frowned at those below. All the happy children playing in the snow. He stood a while there watching, envying them all, when through the window, big and red, came hurtling past his royal head, and bouncing, landing on the bed, an India rubber ball. And oh, Father Christmas, my blessings on you fall for bringing him a big red India rubber ball. Let's sing Good King Wenceslas. And if you've got a high voice, you can do the high bits. And if you've got the low voice, you can do the low bits. Or you can sing whatever you want to, whenever you want. You can do the whole thing. Change your octaves if you're feeling flexible.
Christmas Comes Whether You Are Ready or Not by Cynthia Frater. There is something compelling about the fact that Christmas comes no matter what. The celebration of the birth of Jesus comes no matter the season of your heart. The Prince of Peace, the baby that would bring a message of universal equality, compassion, forgiveness, and love, is reborn again and again and again, no matter our state of mind or being. Indeed, in spite of it. Perhaps that is the real miracle of the season, that hope and possibility cannot be denied. As I contemplate the state of the world at this moment in time, I cannot think of anything more needed than a reminder of our potential to bring peace and healing and possibility into our lives. We don't always feel it or see it or think it is there. But then there comes Christmas, even when we aren't ready to receive it. A reminder that no matter what season of the heart we are in, no matter what struggles or grief are consuming us, Christmas will not let us forget the light that was born in us, even on the darkest night of our souls. So even if you can't deal with all the razzle-dazzle and expense of this holiday, at the very least, open the inn door and prepare the manger of your heart for the gentle but powerful message that is seeking to be reborn in you. Never forget that you are a child of the universe, and where there is life, there is light and love and hope waiting to be reborn again and again and again. So turn on some twinkly lights, pour yourself a glass of eggnog, or not, and wait for that angel chorus to announce your heart's rebirth.
Let's join in singing "It Came Upon a Midnight Clear." Christmas is a time to celebrate in song and story that the divine is born on earth and dwells as a sacred spark within the heart of every child, of every age, in every land. Christmas is a time to celebrate in tradition and ritual that the holy lives when we gather in love with family and friends to bring hope to our world. This is a season that breaks in on our lives unexpected, that demands that we open our hearts in joy and generosity, that reminds us of the grace of unearned gifts. And it is in that spirit that we pass flame to flame as candles touch, our shared radiance bringing the holy to the mundane and warmth to the cold. Let us pass the light.
For So the Children Come by Sophia Lyon-Faz. Christmas is a season of hope coming to birth in a season of short, cold days and long nights. It is a time to look within, to find the divine and the holy that lives in our hearts as equal children of all that is sacred. Christmas is a season of joyful noise and holiday confusion, and it is a season to remember a humble family long ago. The sound of snow falling on snow, and a candle lit in the window to help someone get home. Sophia Lyon-Faz tells us, "For so the children come, and so they have been coming, always in the same way they come, born of the seed of a man and woman. No angels herald their beginnings, no prophets predict their future courses. No wise men see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet each night a child is born is a holy night. Fathers and mothers sitting beside their children's cribs feel glory in the sight of a new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this new life end? Or will it ever end? Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping."
Let's join in singing Silent Night.
Oh,
soft snow. A gift given and received, wrapped in love. A candle and a fire. A bowl of crisp apples, tangy tangerines, and oily oranges. A blizzard of cards that bring loved ones closer. A tree that somehow kept its green when autumn came and went. The joy of old stories that seem forever new, and songs sung softly under the breath of peace on earth. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.